Okay guys, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at types of organisms, unicellular organisms versus multicellular organisms. So what is an organism? A definition of an organism is anything that can live on its own. Okay, with that done, let's go ahead and talk about unicellular organisms. A definition is unicellular organism is an organism made of only one cell. Uni meaning one. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the common names that come with some unicellular organisms, such as microscopic organisms, microorganisms, or really small living things. Some examples of unicellular organisms include amoeba, bacteria, protozoa, unicellular algae, unicellular fungi, unicellular yeasts, and a paramecium. Okay, so over the next couple of slides here, we're going to be taking a look at some images of unicellular organisms. As you can see here, we've got some examples. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the next slide. Here we see another couple of examples of unicellular organisms. If you look at the one on the left, that you can see it looks like little hair. It's called cilia, and it actually helps the organism move within the medium it's located in. Okay, now let's go ahead and move on in the presentation here. As you can see, we are now going to go ahead and look at multicellular organisms. All right, multicellular organisms. Well, the definition of a multicellular organism is multicellular organism, an organism made of two or more cells, as opposed to a unicellular organism, which is only comprised of one cell. Some information on some multicellular organisms include these organisms are able to be seen with the naked eye. In other words, you're able to go ahead and just see them. These organisms need all parts of itself to survive. Okay, let's look at some common names now for multicellular organisms. You have many-celled organisms, eukaryotic organisms, mammals, including, of course, us humans, birds, reptiles, fish, and many, many others. Okay, let's take a look at some examples of multicellular organisms. You can see here humans, cats, dogs, insects, birds, flowers, mold, and trees. As you can see, multicellular organisms actually cover a wide variety and a wide spectrum of many of the living things that we see here on this planet. As you can see here, we have images of multicellular organisms that you find on the planet. An example, of course, being a kitten right there in the upper left-hand corner, a puppy dog right there in the lower left-hand corner. You've got a hummingbird up there on the right-hand corner, and in the lower right, a rose. So as you can see, multicellular organisms, like we talked in the previous slide, cover a lot of different organisms that you see here on the planet. And we can continue with a few more images of multicellular organisms. As you can see on the left there, you have a horse, and on the right, you have a swan. So, let's go ahead and take a look at this sample question. What type of organism is a hamster? Well, the answer is multicellular. It's an animal, and many of the cells have to work together to keep the organism alive. We've now gone ahead and reached the end, so this is our last slide of this presentation. Let me know you're done by going ahead and putting your earphones down and going ahead and raising your hand so we can continue.